Well, it's 2024, which means we get another Hollywood remake. Anyone shocked? This time around, it's Roadhouse, the 1989 classic. You can use that term loosely, is back. This time we don't have Patrick Swayze, sadly, but we do have Jake Gyllenhaal playing the bouncer named Dalton. And the setting is a little bit different too. Instead of a honky tonk bar, we've got a drink establishment in the Florida Keys. So a lot of different changes here, but is it good? Is it fun? Is it anywhere close to the original? Well, mostly no. Okay, here's part of the problem. You've got a movie made in 2024. You can't do a lot of the stuff he did back in the 80s. Remember the male gaze looking at beautiful women? We're not going to have that here. You can't do it now. That's just not appropriate. So it's a tinge woke, but that's certainly something missing from the new film. But more importantly, the new film is just flat. The story does follow the bouncer. He goes to a Florida bar. He's trying to clean up and keep all the riffraff away. And of course, there's a local developer who gets involved and he wants to take over the bar for different purposes. And it's up to Dalton to save the day. Again, the basics, the blueprint is pretty much the same here. But what's different? Well, listen, Jake Gyllenhaal is a better actor than Patrick Swayze. Sorry. But he doesn't have the presence, the aura, the mystique. He doesn't have that larger than life persona that you need in a movie like Roadhouse. It's just not there. And there are times that Gyllenhaal looks a little bit bored, honestly. I think he's trying for something. He's going for a cool, maybe a little bit of a Steve McQueen thing going on. It just doesn't work. So that's a problem. There's no Sam Elliott here. That's another problem. None of the supporting characters are fascinating or scary or intriguing. Just not happening. No one can replace Sam Elliott. They don't even try here. There's also a love story. Remember with Kelly Lynch and Patrick Swayze, the heat they generated. They liked each other. They took it to the bedroom. Well, not quite here. There is a love interest. There is a romantic subplot, but it is very, very soggy. It's almost an afterthought, like, well, we got to make some sort of love story, but let's not put our heart into it. So that's what you get in this film. What you do get, which is very good, and certainly maybe an upgrade to a degree over the original, is Conor McGregor. He's basically playing Conor McGregor, a guy who can really throw some fists around. And he plays one of the key bad guys in the film, and he's quite good. I don't even think he's acting. I don't even know if it's a performance. He just fills the screen up. He's larger than life in a good way, and he's a really good adversary for our hero. So kudos for casting Conor McGregor. He is exactly what this kind of movie needs, but otherwise it just doesn't hold together. The story's flat, the dialogue is flat. There's a few clunkers in the original 1989 movie, but there's also some just over the top dialogue that was fun. Remember Be Nice, And we know what happens next. So, if you're going to remake a movie like Roadhouse, what's the point? What's the why? What are you going to do differently? Is it better special effects? Well, that's not really appropriate with a movie like this. Is it bigger, better action sequences? Yeah, toward the end, there's pretty good battle between Conor McGregor and our hero, and that works. And I appreciated some of the different camera angles and some of the intensity of that big slugfest. Great. But the rest of it just doesn't measure up. And it's on streaming. It's playing right now on Amazon Prime. And if it's going to be on streaming, your expectations are lower. You're not going to the theater. You're not, hiring a babysitter. You're not parking, paying some sort of fee. You're just at home clicking channels, watching what's on the streaming networks. And if you don't like it, you turn away. And I suspect a lot of people, after about 20 or 30 minutes of Roadhouse, they might turn away. I watched this movie with my wife, and she's not a big Roadhouse fan, and she's more of a casual moviegoer. But I turned to her about 20, 30 minutes in, and I said, this feels flat to me. And she just nodded. Roadhouse should never be flat. It should always be over the top. And when the new Roadhouse is over the top, it's just over the top dumb. Okay. Now, the first one, it had some dumb moments as well, but it was fun. It was exciting. It was interesting. And by the way, the original Roadhouse, you can really almost smell the stale beer in that bar. It just felt like another character in the movie. Here, you barely see the bar. It's not interesting. They don't develop it. They don't get to know the characters. The people who are working the bar in and out just doesn't happen. So It's another remake that just doesn't hold a candle to the original. Put it next to the Total Recall remake and other films where they tried to replicate what was so glorious about the 80s and they just can't do it. So that's it about Roadhouse. It's watchable. There are worse things you can check out on streaming platforms. Jake Gyllenhaal clearly worked out for the role. He's looking very buff. Good for him. I can imagine that after the whole production was over, he probably ate to his heart's content, and God bless him. But overall, this is just a pale imitation of a classic movie that, for all its flaws, I kind of want to watch again. Thank you for checking out HollywoodandToto.com. Please like, subscribe, do all the things, and we'll see you next time.